Hello, guys. Just before we get into this mock draft, I will be uploading one of these each day coming up to the draft.
We are
And
back, ladies and gentlemen.
yep,
Year two.
year two. And on the 23rd, we will once again be streaming at around 6:30 Central Standard Time. Probably a little later, maybe a little
And
before.
like our prediction videos this year, we added another member to our gang who is
Yup.
hiding in the darkness right now.
He may
He
or may
thinks he,
not have a mock draft.
he thinks he's Batman. He likes the darkness.
Anyways, onto the mock draft.
Welcome back, ladies. I'm gonna restart that tape. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another year of mock drafts, year two. As you can remember from last year, I just barely did better than these other two guys predicting. I'll still hold over my Ashton Genty selection over Peyton for a while. I'll keep holding that over him. He was so adamant, and he was wrong. Anyways, we're back for another year. This one's an interesting year. People don't really think this draft class is all that great. Who cares? We're doing it live anyway. So, the Raiders, they had a very, very rough year last year. And obviously, there is no doubt who the first overall player is going to be in this draft. And that's Fernando Mendoza, the quarterback from Indiana. Hopefully, he can save this franchise. I hope he doesn't get destroyed by that awful Raiders line that they have. So pray for his soul. He's stuck on the Raiders, but he's all right. All right. Pick two. Now, I've been flip-flopping between two players here. But I think the Jets like this guy a lot better than the other guy. So here I have I have David Bailey going here. The Jets need a lot of things. A good edge rusher is a good start. All right, pick number 3. We have the Cardinals. The Cardinals, my pick here has also been interesting. And I'm leaning towards Francis Mauigoa as their guy. They need to build up this O-line, try to work around what they can do this year, because next year is the year all the good QBs are going to be in the draft. So if they do the line strat and just get a solid foundation on their line and wait for their QB to come along, I think they'll be all right. Pick number 4, we have the Tennessee Titans. Now, who do I have the Titans selecting? I believe they will go with Mr. Jeremiah Love out of Notre Dame. This guy was insane last year for Notre Dame. I hope he rides that momentum into the NFL. Now, the Giants. Who do I have the Giants selecting? If you all watched the league last year, Mr. Jackson Dart took over the league by storm with his buddy Cam Scadaboo, who didn't survive the season. He went down with injury. I think they should continue to build around this young core that they have. And I have the Giants going with Carnell Tate, the explosive receiver out of Ohio State. On to pick number 6. What do I have the Cleveland Browns doing, you might ask? I have them trading down with the Dallas Cowgirls. I will have Dallas give up their 2 firsts. I really don't know how the trade would go in real life, but in my perspective for this mock draft, I will have them use their 2 firsts to trade up to 6. Confirm. And now, how does Dallas select? Well, some might recall a tale from a year ago, before the season started. What did Dallas do? They just trade away their best edge rusher on their defense. Just a very intelligent move here. So, we got to make it right. I have them taking Arvell Reese. All right, the Washington Commanders. Who do they go with here? Well, a lot of the good defenders are off the board, except a few. But who do they take? I'm going to have them go with Mr. Ruben Bain Jr. He's a very versatile guy. They could play him around their D-line. Hopefully it'll help build up that defense. I know it doesn't really help Jaden Daniels, but we'll see how things play out for them next year. The Nolan Saints. Who do I have the Saints taking? I shall have them go with the incredible linebacker prospect in Sonny Styles. He's also a very versatile player. He'll probably play middle linebacker. He also could play safety, depending on how they want to play him. Moving on to the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, the Chiefs had a very interesting year last year. They don't normally pick in the top 10 in recent years, but they're here now. I'll be happy about that for the time being. Now, I think the Chiefs can go either a couple options. I think they should work on their offense because that was their weakest link from last year. So, with that being said, I am going to have the Chiefs go with Jordan Tyson, the wide receiver out of Arizona State. Now we have Peyton's Cincinnati Bengals. Who did the Bengals pick this year? Now, it's been a recurring meme that the Bengals don't know how to play defense. And it appears here at pick 10, there is a certain generational prospect at safety. And that's why I have the Bengals taking. All right, pick 11. We have the dumpster fire Dolphins. The Dolphins lost a lot of things this year. They lost Tua. They lost Jalen Waddle. Who knows what the Dolphins are going to be going to do next year? So I think they got to find someone to. They didn't have Tyreek Hill, so they have to. They're basically restarting this year. They can go many different directions. Their team needs a lot of help. I will have them go with Mansour Delane here. Actually, yeah, we'll go with Mansour Delane. I was thinking about it. All right, pick 12. Now that the Cleveland Browns have traded down, they are down here now at 12, where Dallas used to be. What will these Cleveland Browns take? I think they need to keep building around whichever young quarterback they're going to choose. I really don't know who they're going to pick to be their starter quarterback next year. I know both of them dealt with injuries. And also, they don't really have any weapons. I believe, though, it should go with offensive line, Monroe Freeling, to protect him. At least do something to help those young QBs out. All right. The Los Angeles Rams. Now, the Rams are an interesting spot. They're in win-now mode. They have really old core, in particular with Devontae Adams and their quarterback, Matt Stafford. They're getting old. They probably have a year or two left in their Super Bowl window to make it. And I feel like Mekhi Lemon would be a good player to be like a transitional player, help them move on from Devontae Adams, who probably has 1 year left in the tank at his level. Moving on, the Baltimore Ravens had a slip last year. They didn't make the playoffs. Lamar was hurt most of the year because their O-line was absolutely atrocious. So the best way, in my opinion, to address it is drafting Spencer Fano, who can move inside to play guard. Next up, we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. There are probably many directions they could go. I know their offense wasn't that great last year at times, especially in the second half of the season. Their defense also couldn't hold a lead. So honestly, I think it would be smart for the Bucs to take Jermon McCoy, arguably the best corner in this draft class. Next up, we have the Jets' second pick. And if you remember, I had him go edge. This time, I think they should switch gears back to offense. I know a lot of people think that they might draft Ty Simpson here. I don't think another QB is going to go in the first round. Maybe one could. I think it'd be smarter for them to go receiver here. And so I believe they will take Omar Cooper Jr. at pick 16 from Indiana, from Mendoza's teammate. At 17, I definitely think that they need to build up their O-line again and help out Jahmyr Gibbs. They need to do their best to help him out. He's probably at the core of their offense now. They need to work around him if Jared Goff cannot keep up in the passing game. So I'll have the Lions taking Caleb Lemieux. Pick 18, we have the Minnesota Vikings. And I will have them take the second best safety in this class with Dylan Feineman from Oregon. Now we have Peyton's sleeper pick, who turned out to be the offensive rookie of the year. They took Ted McMillan last year, and how I believe they will follow up this success we have with drafting. I think they'll go back to the defense. I think Peter Woods would be a great pickup for them. D-line really isn't a great D-line prospect this year, but he might be the best one in this class. All right, the Cleveland Browns are up again from my trade earlier. I had them taking offensive line. Now that they're back up, I will have the Browns take KC Concepcion from Texas Tech, who was a solid receiver last year for Texas A&M. I said Texas Tech earlier. All right. The Steelers are up. Now the Steelers are in a weird spot right now. Well, they've been in a weird spot for a while. Now we have a new coach. I think it would be smart for us to go with the safest pick in this draft, at least in the first round, and that's I'm not even going to try to pronounce his name, but he's a really good offensive guard for Penn State last year. Next up, I have the Los Angeles Chargers, who did not perform so well against the Pats in their playoff game. But who did I have him take here? I wrote down some thoughts. And I think they should definitely address the defense. And I'll have them take Chris Johnson, who's actually been a rising star late here in the draft process. And he's probably going to be a stellar athlete in the NFL, hopefully. Next up, we have the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, the Eagles are also in an interesting spot because their offense really wasn't that good last year, surprisingly, after what their season was 2 years ago. So with that being said, I will have the Eagles taking Denzel Boston, a wide receiver, out of Washington. Next up, I have once again, the Cleveland Browns. I had to take tackle and wide receiver earlier. So, again, I think they just need to keep building around their young QB talent. So I will have them take. I'm trying to think who they should go for here. I didn't make it this far. Or did I? I will have the Cleveland Browns go with Colton Hood, the corner out of Tennessee. With pick 25, the Chicago Bears, I shall have them take Keldrick Falk. A lot of these edge rushers underperformed their final few seasons with their teams, unfortunately for them. Otherwise, they would probably have drafted much higher than they were in my mock draft. Next up, we have the Buffalo Bills, who also ended last year in disappointing fashion. I think their defense is just a big weak spot, and I will have them take Zion Young from Missouri. I'm not sure if anyone's going to draft Messidor early. He's a 25-year-old rookie, and there's obviously could be some problems with that in terms of development. Pick 27, the San Francisco 49ers. I think they should go with O-line here and keep building up and keep doing whatever they can to help Brock Purdy, who got hurt again last year, and CMC. So I'll have them take Caden Proctor from Alabama. Pick 28, the Houston Texans, who didn't end the year very well. I will have them select Caden McDonald from Ohio State. Pick 29, we have the Kansas City Chiefs. I think they should draft Kenyon Sadiq to be their successor to Travis Kelce. And you also do a lot to help out their passing game, which was not the greatest last year. The Miami Dolphins, who I had them select Mansour Delane earlier on defense, I think they should switch back to offense here, and I will have them select. You know what? Scratch that. I will have them select Blake Miller, tackle from Clemson, and help out. I'm blanking again on names. Now we have the New England Patriots. Now the receivers for this first round are all gone. So what should the Patriots do here? I will have them trade back. All right. Who do the Jets trade for? I think they will take Ty Simpson. And last but not least, we have the Seattle Seahawks. I believe they shall take Mike Washington Jr. to replace Kenneth Walker. And there we have it. My mock draft, that probably won't be right, but it's still, I think, pretty good. But we'll see next week how it happens. My trades are probably very wrong, and I bet you they're laughing their asses off while I'm watching me do this. But here we go. Here's my mock draft for 2026. Hopefully I did better than last year. I don't know for sure, but we'll see. That is all, guys. Peace.